Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why not you? Why not you as the one who rises above the rest? Why not you as the one who makes it, who achieves greatness? Why not you, the one who decides to break free from the shackles of mediocrity and step into the life that others only dream about? You've been told your whole life that success is reserved for the lucky ones, the special few. Well, I'm here to tell you that they're lying. You've been fed a story that says success is something that happens to other people. But it's time to wake up. You've got potential within you that you've barely even begun to tap into. You think success is about being born into the right circumstances? Bullshit. It's about making a choice. And you have that choice right now. What's stopping you? The world's full of people who had nothing but found a way to make it. What are you doing with the tools you already have? But before you get ahead of yourself, let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's your mindset. The biggest thing standing between you and your dreams are your own limiting beliefs. Fear, doubt, insecurity, these are the chains holding you back. And you've bought into this story that you're not enough, that you're not capable, that you need something more. You don't need anything more except to believe in yourself and put in the work. You've got to be real with yourself. Nothing worth achieving comes easy. Success requires sacrifice. You have to give up the comfort of what's familiar to chase something greater. You think those who've made it got there without a fight? They've been knocked down. They've been told they couldn't make it. But they got up and they kept going. Resilience is the key to everything. Get comfortable with pain. Get comfortable with struggle. Because without it, you'll never grow. Here's the truth, you've got to commit. Commit to your goal, to your future, to the sweat and the blood it's going to take to get there. The world doesn't care about your excuses. And don't expect to be praised along the way. No one's going to give you a medal just for showing up. The difference between you and the winners is consistency. Keep pushing, day in and day out. Consistency wins, always. But let me tell you something else. The moment you decide to pursue greatness, you're going to have people who tell you that you can't do it. They'll tell you you're crazy. They'll tell you that you're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I say to that? Screw them. The critics, the naysayers, let them talk. Their voices are just noise. Your belief in yourself, your relentless drive will drown out everything they say. You don't need their validation. You need to believe in your own potential, in your own power. And here's where most people fail. They wait for the right time. There is no right time. It's always now. You've got one life, one chance, and no time to waste. Start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The longer you wait, the longer you delay your success. The key to success is action. Take action today, right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. So I'll ask you again, why not you? Why not the one who rises, who steps into the arena and fights for what they deserve? It's not about waiting for the stars to align or hoping for luck. It's about taking the reins and deciding to make it happen. Don't let the world tell you what you can't do. You're the one who gets to decide. And when you finally make that decision, when you take that first step and never look back, you'll realize that everything you ever wanted was always within your reach. So take a deep breath, look yourself in the eye, and ask again, why not you? It's time to rise. Thank you. You're standing in front of a mirror right now, and what you see staring back at you is someone with incredible potential. But do you see it? Do you recognize the power that lies within you waiting to be unleashed? Or have you bought into the lie that success is for the chosen ones, the ones with the right connections or the right circumstances? Let me tell you something, the only thing that stands between you and your potential is your willingness to see it and take action. You've been told that greatness is something that happens to other people, right? They tell you that success is reserved for the lucky, for the ones who had it easy. Well, that's nothing but a bunch of excuses to keep you where you are. I don't care what your background is, what you've been through, or how many people told you you couldn't do it, the potential to achieve greatness is already inside of you. It's been there all along, just waiting for you to realize it. The truth is, you've been walking around with untapped power that you've barely begun to scratch the surface of. You've got the same raw ingredients as the successful, as the high achievers, the ones who seem to always get ahead. The difference is that they've learned how to harness their potential, and they've committed to unleashing it every single day. And you can do the same. You've got everything you need right now. The question is, what are you doing with it? Too many of you are waiting for some perfect moment, some special sign, some magical key to unlock your success. I'm here to tell you that key is already in your hands. The only thing you need is the belief that you are worthy of success, that you can achieve it, and that the world isn't waiting for anyone else to step aside for you. You need to step up and take what's yours. Understand this potential is not some abstract, unreachable concept. It's raw power. It's the ability to turn your thoughts into action and your dreams into reality. The only reason people don't achieve their potential is because they're afraid. They're afraid of failure. Afraid of the work it will take, afraid of what people might say. But you can't live in fear. You can't let fear dictate what you're capable of. Fear is nothing more than a figment of your imagination. It's something that only exists in your head until you decide it's not real anymore. And once you stop being afraid, you'll realize that there's nothing stopping you. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your past or your limitations. It only cares about one thing, what you're going to do next. Your potential means absolutely nothing if you're not willing to take action on it. It's not about waiting for someone to give you permission or hoping that the stars will align. Your potential is yours to claim, and you claim it by doing something today, right now. You may have spent years doubting yourself, telling yourself that you don't have what it takes or that success is for someone else. But now is the time to stop listening to that voice. It's time to shut out the negativity, to shut down the self-doubt, and to start building the belief that you can do this. You have everything inside you to reach heights you've never imagined. The only person holding you back is you. So I challenge you right now, take a look at your life. What are you doing with your potential? Are you letting it sit dormant, waiting for some sign that it's time to act? Or are you stepping into your greatness, pushing yourself past the fear, past the limitations, and into the life you were always meant to lead? Your potential is not something that belongs in the future. It's something that belongs to you right now. You just need to decide to take hold of it and make it work for you. Because if not you, then who? If not now, then when? It's time to stop doubting and start doing. Your potential is waiting. You've heard the whispers, haven't you? The whispers that tell you you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you can't do it. You're not capable. These aren't just thoughts, they are chains. Chains that bind you to a life of mediocrity, a life far below what you could achieve, a life far from the greatness that lies within you. But here's the truth, those chains aren't real, they're illusions. They're mental barriers constructed by the doubts you've been carrying for years, if not decades, and I'm here to tell you that today is the day you break them. The moment you begin to believe the lies your mind tells you about yourself, you're locking yourself in a prison of your own making. The truth is, those beliefs are just stories you've been conditioned to accept. They were planted by others, parents, teachers, society, and they've taken root in your mind. But guess what? You don't have to carry them anymore. The power to change your mindset, to free yourself from these self-imposed limitations, has always been in your hands. You are the one who decides how high you will climb, how far you will go, how successful you will become. What do I mean by this? I'm talking about your ability to control your inner dialogue. It's easy to let the negative thoughts overwhelm you, to let the inner critic take over. Every time you make a mistake or face a setback, you hear that voice, "See, I told you so. You're just not cut out for this," but here's the catch: you have the power to shut that voice up. The only reason that voice has any power is because you've allowed it to. Every time you listen to it, you give it strength. But the moment you challenge it, the moment you decide to reject those thoughts, you're breaking the chains. I think about it, how many times have you held back from pursuing something great because you believed you weren't ready or good enough? How many opportunities have you let slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to take the first step? I can promise you that the successful people you admire, the ones who seem to have it all together, they didn't start out without doubts. They didn't start out as the perfect version of themselves. They started out just like you, afraid, uncertain, unsure. But they made a decision. They made a choice to ignore the noise, to shut down the doubts, and to push forward anyway. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never feel like you have all the answers. And if you're waiting for the perfect time, I've got news for you: it doesn't exist. The only time is now. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have all the pieces of the puzzle in place before you start. The most successful people didn't wait for the perfect conditions. They stepped out, took action, and adjusted as they went. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And let's be real, failure is part of the game. You can't escape it. You can't bypass it. You can't sidestep it. If you're not failing, you're not trying. You're not pushing your limits. Every time you fail, you're learning. You're growing, you're moving forward. Failure is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. So why would you let a fear of failure hold you back? Why would you let past failures define your future? Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every mistake is a lesson in disguise. The key is to stop seeing failure as something to avoid and start seeing it as the price of growth. And don't even get me started on the fear of judgment from others. People will always talk. They'll always have something to say, especially when you start stepping out and challenging the status quo. The critics will show up, the doubters will come out of the woodwork, and they'll try to drag you down to their level. But here's the thing, their opinions don't matter. What matters is what you believe about yourself. If you spend your life trying to please others or win their approval, you'll never get anywhere. The only approval you need is your own. You don't need the approval you need is your own. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need anyone's permission to go after what you want. Every moment you let those limiting beliefs hold you back, you're wasting time. Time that could be spent building the life you've always dreamed of. Time that could be spent taking action, learning, growing, and ultimately creating something extraordinary. You don't have the luxury of waiting around. You don't have the luxury of playing small. You've got greatness inside of you. And it's time you started believing that. Stop allowing fear and self-doubt to dictate your decisions. You are capable of far more than you think. And once you make the decision to stop holding yourself back, there's nothing that can stand in your way. So what's it going to be? Are you going to continue living with the chains of limiting beliefs, or are you going to break free? The choice is yours, but I can promise you this. The moment you decide to let go of the doubt, the fear, and the insecurity, that's when your true power will emerge. That's when you'll realize that everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to break free from the chains you've been holding on to for far too long. It's time. It's time to break those chains. Resilience and sacrifice. These are two words that people often hear but fail to truly grasp. Let me tell you something, without them, you have nothing. No amount of talent, no amount of connections, no amount of knowledge can ever replace the raw power of resilience and sacrifice. These are the foundations of success, and anyone who has ever achieved anything of value knows it. Success is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for those who expect the world to hand them a golden ticket. Success is for those who wake up every single day ready to fight, no matter how many times life knocks them down. You want to succeed? Then you must learn to embrace resilience, because it is the fuel that keeps you moving forward when everything in you says stop. Let's be real. Life will throw obstacles your way. You will be knocked down, you will face failure, and there will be moments when it feels like the world is against you. But here's the kicker: failure isn't the end, it's just the beginning. Every time you fall, you have two choices. You can stay down and let it define you, or you can rise up stronger, more determined, and more relentless than before. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure, it's about using failure as your stepping stone. It's about refusing to stay on the ground. The greatest victories are not won in the moments of glory, but in the quiet moments when you decide that you will keep going, no matter what. Every setback, every obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how far you can go. It's easy to keep going when everything is smooth, but the real test of character comes when life gets tough. And then there's sacrifice. Everyone wants the rewards, the success, the accolades, the money, the fame, but how many are willing to pay the price for it? Success doesn't come cheap. It's not handed to you on a silver platter. You want the life you've been dreaming about? You better be ready to make sacrifices. You think those who've made it just coasted through life? Think again. They gave up something to get where they are. Whether it was time, comfort, relationships, or even their own happiness, at times they paid the price. You cannot have it all, not if you want to achieve something extraordinary. There's always a cost, and it's your responsibility to determine what you're willing to give up in order to get what you want. Are you willing to lose your free time? Are you willing to lose some friends along the way? Are you willing to sacrifice the comfort of staying where you are for the discomfort of growing and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible? That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The doers are the ones who understand that to gain something extraordinary, they must first give up the ordinary. Sacrifice doesn't always look glamorous. You might not see the rewards right away, but trust me, every sacrifice you make is an investment in your future. It's not about the immediate gratification, but about the bigger picture. You're building something that will pay off long after others have given up. While they were sleeping, you were grinding. While they were out enjoying their weekends, you were working on your goals. While they were making excuses, you were making progress. Sacrifice isn't a one-time thing, it's a constant decision. It's about choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure, about doing the work even when no one is watching, and about staying committed even when the road gets tough. Resilience and sacrifice go hand in hand. Without one, the other is incomplete. Resilience allows you to keep going when the going gets tough, and sacrifice gives you the focus to keep pushing even when you'd rather quit. It's the refusal to give up, the refusal to settle for less than what you know you're capable of. It's the unwavering commitment to your vision, even when the world tells you it's impossible. If you're serious about achieving greatness, then you need to be prepared to sacrifice what's comfortable and embrace the grind. Success isn't given to the ones who take the easy path. It's reserved for those who are willing to walk through fire, face the storms, and keep moving forward no matter how many times they fall. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to embrace the hard work, the sacrifices, and the failures that come with the pursuit of something greater? Because if you want to stand at the top, you have to climb, and climbing requires both resilience and sacrifice. You have to be willing to make the tough decisions, to push through when it feels like there's no way forward, and to give up what you know to make space for what you can become. This is the price of success. This is the price of greatness. And the real question is, are you willing to pay it? So let me leave you with this: success isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's for those who are willing to commit and remain consistent no matter the challenges that come their way. It's about making the decision that you will not be swayed by the opinions of others, not deterred by setbacks, and certainly not discouraged by failure. It's about making a promise to yourself that no matter what, you will keep moving forward every single day without exception. If you want to be great, if you want to achieve what others think is impossible, you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to stay consistent when others quit. And above all, you have to be fully committed to your own success. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from achieving your goals. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to stay the course. So ask yourself again, why not you? Why not now? Get committed, stay consistent, and watch how the impossible becomes your reality.